All right, so it is Christmas time, and appropriately, we've been getting all kinds of cool gifts for our VFR 800 that we're building. One of which is this, an anti-gravity lithium battery. I've used anti-gravity before on our Goldwing Bobber. We used one of these, but on the Goldwing Bobber, we used the 12-cell one. I mean, they sell a lot of different types of batteries, variations on them, but this sort of series that I have used before is their sort of universal battery series, and so it depends on how many cells you have. The smallest one is like a 4-cell. This is a 8-cell, and then there's a 12-cell, and I think there's another one in there somewhere. This is a tiny battery. Look how small it is compared to the stock VFR battery. Look at this. It is a lot smaller. So I'm thrilled about this because I can save space on the bike. And anytime I'm making a custom motorcycle, I want to shrink stuff down like this as much as possible to sort of minimize, because I don't know what it is, but on motorcycles especially, one of the illusions is that there are no electronics on the bike, that there's none of this extra sort of modern day stuff on a motorcycle that would make it work. The 8-cell has 240 cranking amps. This is always kind of what you go by in order to determine what size or how much of a battery you need. And then beyond that, it's just sort of the size of the battery, the packaging of it, as to whether or not it fits on your bike. In a custom application, I'll make the bike fit the battery, basically. And so this can be whatever size, dimension size it needs to be. But the cranking amps, I need to make sure it has enough to start the engine, and 240 is enough for the VFR. The stock one has less than that. And we're at the phase where I need all this stuff at hand so that I can start crafting all the custom bike aspect around these electronic components. The other thing I've got that I mentioned in a previous video is this guy. Can we guess what this is? It is a modern, let me show you the old one. Here we go. Here's the old one. I had to go track it down. So it's still attached. This would be on the front of the bike. And it's this guy here. If you watched the previous video, you know that this is the bank angle sensor, the tip over sensor. So when the bike has an accident or falls on its side or whatever, this will shut the bike off. And you can see how big that one is compared to this one. This one is very tiny. I like the idea of having one on the bike. I know a lot of people take them off, especially if you're if you're a wheelie monster. You definitely take it off because this will shut the bike off on you all the time when you're wheeling. So I am not a wheelie monster. I'm more of a let's take this bike and go someplace sort of person. I like the idea of having one for the intended purpose, which is safety. The bike falls over. It's probably, I prefer it to shut off if it does that. So this is a much more shrunken down version. This is actually off of like a Kawasaki Z900 or something, which I got this because A, it's small, and then B, you can see it's got three, well, you might be able to see that there's 3 pins inside here. So it's like a 3-wire connection. This guy here is also a 3-wire connection. I'm hoping they work the same way, and I can wire it up the same way and make this thing work off the stock VFR wiring harness. We'll see.